Hello, welcome to the A to Z Studios YouTube channel. My name is Toby Allen. I am the A in A to Z, and I am the producer in the studio. So today we're going to be looking at a brand new drum library from Bogren Digital called Eloy Drums. If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm a big fan of Bogren Digital. I'm a big fan of the drum libraries that they've made so far. Crim drums and Trivium drums, both of those I really loved. And when I did my review, I rated them very highly. A long time ago, just after Crim came out, I think, almost 3 years ago, Bogren and Eloy actually teased that they were working on a drum library together. So it's fantastic to finally see that out in the world. And so I thought I'd do a quick walkthrough of what I think of it and what we can do with it. Obviously, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own. However, we were sent a copy of this to show to you guys. We are also affiliated with Bogren Digital, and there is a link below. If you like what you see, then buy a copy through that. We get a little commission. But as I said, all thoughts and opinions are my own. I only review stuff that I like, and I do like it. But let's see why. So anyway, what we'll do to begin with is we shall have a listen through to a little cheeky song from the upcoming Bloody Pineapples record. This song is currently called Jaws Core, and what we are having here is we've got the Eloy Casa Grande kit on the Max Morton Gin Grande preset. We have Architect bass. I think it's possibly running into ML bass. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then guitars are quad tracked through the new Thal amp from Ode Home Audio. So have a listen and see what you think. Alright, that's a little bit naughty. One thing I also wanted to mention is that there's no other plugins running on this one, so there's no like compression or anything added on top. All the drum sounds you hear on there are actually from the drums themselves, from the contact instrument itself. So let's just solo the drums and hear that. I'm going to a bit that's kind of a bit more normal drums. So, yeah, you can hear how that sounds on its own. Let's run through the interface and the features methodically. So one thing to mention is that there are essentially two instruments, and they are from two eras of Eloy. So you've got the Casa Grande, and you have the Casa Groove. I'm just going to call it the Casa Groove. And essentially the Casa Grande is based on a kind of Slipknot sound, and the Casa Groove is set kind of a Sepultura kind of sound. Those are the two main eras of Eloy's career so far. The Slipknot one is bigger, and I'll show you the difference in a bit. So we've loaded up a clean preset, so I wanted to show you what it sounds like with very little processing and without the additional trigger samples running on there. So we've got the kick, that one is kick low, and then we have kick high. And turn my volume up so I can hear it better. There's kick high, And there's kick low. You've got 3 rack toms and 2 floor toms. So the rack toms, you just basically have the selection of what they are. Same with all the floor toms as well. And then with the snares, there's actually quite a few snare choices in each kit. So in the Grande kit, we have Bell Brass 80. We have Bell Brass 80 without the damping. We've got Premiere. That's damping. And then Premiere without damping. We have Supertonic. Ooh, I like that one. And Black Beauty. Classic, can't beat it. That sounds pretty great as well. You've also got quite a selection of cymbals. You've got hi-hat. You've got hi-hats. Again, just the one choice on there. And all of the cymbals, again, it's just the one. It's not like a huge selection of ones that you can change between, but you have the whole loaded out. So I'm just going to click around the kit so you can hear all of those. So there's some great sounding cymbals on there as well. So and then last but not least, very nice, we have a gong there as well. As with the other Bogren kits, we have the anti-machine gun setting here, and we have the auto double kick setting here. So if you're doing like 16th notes, it'll automatically go between the 2 kicks. The auto machine gun, anti-machine gun has an algorithm on there that, so if you're having lots of hits consistently after, they don't sound like one-shotty or machine gunny. It varies up the sound to make it sound more humanized and more natural. Moving over to the mixer, we have, of course, faders here for all of the mic sections. So we've got kick, we've got kick sub, those are separate. And then you've got kick trigger. And if you go into kick trigger, you actually have an option of 2 here to choose from, or you can drag and drop your own custom one-shot in as well, which is a nice touch. You've got snare top and snare bottom, and again trigger snare. You can choose from 3 different Bogren signature triggers, or you can drag in your own one-shot as well. So that's really nice. And then you've got the toms, you've got your hats, you've got your hat X, your ride, your overheads, and your room. And within the overheads here, you can actually balance the cymbals individually going into the overheads, which is really nice. With all of these as well, you have 3 insert slots, so you can put in EQ, compressor, transient control, or saturation, and you can add some extra sounds into there. So let's just go for the kick, for example. So that is laid out a lot like, and it looks like an SSL style EQ on there. You've also got a compressor, which appears to be kind of 1176 kind of compressor. We've got the effects that the controls that you would normally expect with that kind of compressor. Transient control. That sounds ridiculous. And then saturation. Not necessarily something I would normally put on a kick. Actually, let's just try what that sounds like on the snare top. Pretty cool. You also got here a pitch function which you can use on the shells. You can see that's there present on the toms as well. You've got bleed control, so you can choose how much bleed there is with the overheads and the rooms. You've got an envelope function here. You've also got the sends as well, so you can choose how much of that particular shell that you're on is going into the reverb, which hits the master. So you can see there's reverb controls over here for the short and for the long. You can mute those if you don't want them. On the master, you've also got an SSL style bus compressor, a master EQ, and a master tape function as well. So the tape will give you a little bit more of a saturation on there, as well as a tone shift. And then you can make some sort of large movements on the graphic EQ to tone shape as well. So what you've got within all of that as well is you've got a whole bunch of presets from various producers, which is really cool. So obviously you've got Jens, you've got Tui and Max Morton. I really like Max Morton. Oh, I don't really like Max Morton's work anyway, but I really like his preset on there. It's really good. Dan, Lassie, Jacob, Scott Atkins. It's cool to see Scott Atkins on here. He's just down like half an hour down the road from this studio, so it's quite cool to see him on there. David Terro, massive fan of David Terro. John Douglas is an absolute wizard, and then you got a bunch of other guys as well. Oh, Linus, he's really cool as well. A couple of names I don't recognise, but a lot of names I do recognise who are very, very, very cool. So let's move over to the other kit. I think it's a really cool move, actually, including the two different kits and two eras of Eloy, rather than making it kind of one-dimensional. You've got a lot more options available to you with a second kit. So as we can see, this one is a bit more stripped back than the Slipknot one. We've got here. Let's just go with a clean setup, and we'll on the kick again. You've got kick low and kick high. So this is low, and this is high. The difference is subtle, but it's there. You've got two floor toms, and you've got two rack toms. You've got a few snares to choose from. So this one here is the Bell Brass 79 damped. Bell Brass 79 without damped. Supertonic low. Supertonic high. Cannon Puss. And Black Raven. I'm pretty sure you can figure out what those are actually sampled without having to use the trademarks. Let's go around the cymbals as well. We've got hi-hat. Ooh, that's a very low China. Massively loud. Really, really cool. So there's what you have on this kit. And again on the mixer, very similar setup. Just less toms because there are less toms. And again, you can do your trigger for your kick and for your snare. Selections are slightly different. On those, yeah, slightly different sounds. And then again, you can choose your custom quick one shot if you want to, and you've got the same effects available to you on the inserts. Master has the same reverb and it has the same parallel compression, master EQ and master tape. So let's hear how this one sounds with the same song. If we go into the presets, we've also got again Max Morton, and we've got Lassie, Jacob, Scott Atkins, David Terro, John Douglas. We've also got Ramesh here as well, and again Linus. Let's try Max Morton again. So on its own. That sounds pretty tasty for that as well. To be honest, that's another really amazing kit. I don't know if I would necessarily even be able to choose a favourite between the two because they're both so good. Let's just hear that room on its own because that room sounds massive. That is an amazing sounding room. So there you have it. That is the Bogren Digital Eloy Drums kits. Very impressed with how those both sound, and I'm sure we'll be using those more again in the future on the channel. If you like what you've seen, please give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again very soon.